see. I just really want any excuse to play dress up. That's my problem. We could do all gold, which is like maybe insane, or maybe it's perfect. I don't know. Or I like to do a bit of clashing myself. Clash, silver versus gold. Obviously, gold wins, always. Sometimes silver wins. Never is gold, never is gold. Oh, and yeah, I mean, look, pleats, giant sleeves. I think this is it for me. This is my ultimate 70s statement. I'm going to the club. When I think of Bulgari, I think of jewelry, Rome, Liz Taylor, the Serpenti. I think of Hollywood and red carpets, and I also think Octo Finissimo. Finally, the watch gods have answered my prayers, and the Octo Finissimo has been delivered to me in yellow gold. And this, to me, is the perfect combination of Bulgari's design aesthetic as well as its advancements in the horological landscape. Hi guys, Malaika here, your style editor at HODINKEE. I'm coming at you today through my lens of fashion meets watches, or if you want to call it style meets watches. Today I have a piece that kind of means a lot to me. Back in 2021, I decided to go on a rose gold rampage. I was kind of sick of every single watch brand releasing their new novelties in rose, and famously the Octo Finissimo came out in a sandblasted rose gold. And while this watch received much critical acclaim, I was a little frustrated. Cue August 2022. For Bulgari's 50th anniversary of existing in the US, they released a LE of 50 pieces in yellow gold with a chocolate brown dial, and naturally, I got my hands on one. Some will say that this watch rests on the shoulders of watch giant Gerald Genta, and in some ways it does. Bulgari acquired Gerald Genta along with Daniel Roth back in the year 2000. But as time went by and as Bulgari just became one brand and no longer three, and as they were acquired by LVMH in 2011, the Bulgari design team decided to push their own agenda. What's cool about Bulgari is it thought, okay, we need to be radical in our own way, so why not make an integrated sports watch, but let's make it super thin, and let's reimagine it as something that's aggressive and muscular and bold from the front, and sleek and slim and elegant from the side. The lineage really does start with Genta's B-retro design, but Fabrizio Buonamassa Stigliani really put his own stamp on things, and here I think we have something unusual. It's a 21st century icon. It doesn't come from the 70s, but it does look extremely 70s, especially in this yellow gold with brown dial iteration. So let's take a look at the specs of this yellow gold Octo Finissimo automatic. Here we have in-house caliber BVL 138 Finissimo. It's an ultra-thin automatic with a platinum micro rotor, which we can see through the exhibition case back. This is a watch that has a 60-hour power reserve, and the screw-down crown ensures 100 meters of water resistance. We also have the 40mm diameter and 6.40mm height. We've got the brushed and satin finishes, the sapphire crystal front and case back. And then we have one of my favorite parts of the watch, the sunburst brown ceramic dial, and it is rich and it's deep and it reflects the light ever so nicely. We have the classic 12 and 6 o'clock on the dial, the Bulgari logo, the hour markers, and of course the little second subdial at 7:30. Then we have the case itself, which is 18 karat yellow gold, and we have the beautiful bracelet designed by Fabrizio in 2013, but I think has become somewhat of the reason for the success of this watch. I think the way the bracelet tapers and the kind of thin feel of the bracelet really does make it an elegant watch. And when you put it on your wrist, it kind of just sits pretty flat. It feels very silky. Kind of reminds me of 1970s Patek bracelets. And what's really cool is that the clasp is completely integrated. So there's absolutely no bulk here. It's just, the whole thing is completely seamless. And if I take it off here, you can see that the links are just so small, which is a real advantage, so that you can really tailor it and have it taper your wrist perfectly. The Octo Finissimo is traditionally thought of as something quite masculine, something very bold, maybe a little aggressive, but in the yellow gold, it's kind of got a bit of a feminine energy to it, and maybe that's just because I'm attracted to yellow, but I think what we have is more of a bracelet than a watch. It's got this kind of masculine, muscular, aggressive look, and then when you turn it to the side, all of a sudden it becomes sleek and fine and kind of chic. I love it because it's a piece of design and it's a serious watch. And yes, I love the Serpenti, and yes, I love a whole host of other jewelry type watches, but I think it's important to remember that women can have design and technical watchmaking too, and that's what makes this so attractive to me. If you're like me and you think design is just as important as the serious watchmaking, then this is the watch for you. I mean, yes, it's $45,000 and it's a limited run of 50, but at least it serves as an inspiration for sculptural design. It serves as something that is genuinely quite fun. And I think Bulgari did a clever thing here. They kind of are shaking up that idea that the shape is super masculine and men should wear Octo, women should wear Serpenti. I think this sits somewhere in between. When I look at this watch on my wrist, I see the 70s legacy. I see the Gerald Genta legacy, but I also see the 21st century reinterpretation of the legacy. I see how this is pushing a 1970s aesthetic firmly forward. And I also see that nod to Bulgari in the USA, the rewind back to 1972, the rewind back to disco, a rewind back to the times where people were just a little bit more glamorous and they maybe had a little bit more of a gravitation towards yellow gold. But I'm trying to make yellow gold come back. So hopefully you agree with me in saying that this is a truly stunning watch.